Yo, what's up? We gotta get the likes up, share, repost, try and get people up. The usual. Oh wait. That should be fun. Come on, you gotta interact. We gotta get people up. What's up? What's up, everybody? What's up, people on YouTube? Curtis, Alizy, what's up? Y'all gotta keep interacting. Get the likes up. Share, repost. We gotta get to 1,000 likes. We only got 5 people on TikTok or 8 people, something like that. Come on. Let me. Okay. I have someone requesting, so I'll bring them up in a second. I just want to get a few more people. Come on, y'all gotta get to 1,000 likes. Again, if you haven't already, repost the live and share.
Yo.
Hey, what's up? Yeah, what do you got?
What do I got? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, premise 1, the universe exists.
This hour?
Yeah. Premise 1, the universe exists without a contingent source. Is that a good premise? Can I ask you, Monkey Boy?
I don't know what that means. But
What do you mean?
I don't know what a good premise. I don't know what that means. A good premise?
Yeah. Like, is that a good premise? I mean, is that a valid premise? For
Like,
my
do
argument.
I accept it?
Yeah.
I don't know what you're asking.
Do you accept it as a premise? Because last time I came up here, he's like, that's not a premise.
I don't even know what that's saying, but that's not really relevant at the moment.
Monkey Boy, you don't remember me, do you? You little fucktard. Hi, it's me, Monkey Boy. You little faggot. What's up, man?
Why are you behaving like this?
Because you're an atheist who has no moral compass and you believe that you can eat babies. It's not a problem. Because in your worldview, what is a problem and what is not? How do you gauge that? Can you answer?
But you resolve, like, we could talk about that, but you say slurs and you act disgusting and vile talking about I don't have a moral conduct.
Oh, you want to play a victim? Like you don't say the same thing? You little twit?
I do not say those things.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You insulted me
TikTok
the last time, so now you're getting insulted.
Okay, it says obviously I have to remove you. And then I got restricted, but yeah, that's why that's a product of not having good parents. Unfortunate. Should I restart? Yeah, I probably should. We got someone requesting, I'll bring them up.
Hello.
And it's a child. Okay, I'm gonna restart. I'll see you on in 10 seconds. Instantly go crazy with the like, share, and repost. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck's up with that guy. But yeah, see you in 10 seconds. Come on, join back instantly and go and interact. What a fucking loser. I can't believe people have no control, no self-control over their emotions. Just so, like, they're like dogs that need to be trained. I swear to God. Like, literally, they're dogs who have to be leashed. Why is it not? I clicked it twice. What's going on? Anyways, people on YouTube, like the stream, subscribe if you haven't already, and try and reach the gift goal. Come on. I'm gonna give some context for the future scheduling of streams in a moment once we get our viewers back and jump up a little more too. Come on, y'all gotta interact. Get the likes up. We're back, guys. I couldn't find that guy. I was trying to actually block him. Couldn't find his name in the thing. I need to get new mods because the mods I've modded on the TikTok live are just never here. Actually, let me see. Can I mod people on TikTok Studios? Who should I mod? Who is in here? I can mod J Roberts. I can mob. I can mod Chet. If you want Chet, I can mod you. Jay, I can mod you. You don't gotta like be actively modding. Literally just, block people who say slurs or whatever, or we know exactly what type of people we need to get rid of. But you can let me know if you want to be a mod. I don't know who else is in here. So far, we only got 10 people, so I guess I will.
Hello.
Yeah, I can mod you here. Well, let me see. I think I might need to remove them on. Or let me try. Do you have mod now? Oh no, hold on.
Hello.
Yeah, what do you got?
Hello. So, are you an atheist?
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that God was actually 100% proven to have been real? Jesus. Specifically, Jesus.
Jesus? Well, I think Jesus is real.
Jesus has been proven to be God. And he has proven
How?
to be real. It's
How is he
because
proven to
they've
be
actually
God?
found Jesus' tomb. And when they
Your internet's really bad.
blood on that tomb, which was immortal. And when they zoomed in on that blood, they were little crosses from Christianity inside of the blood when they zoomed in on it. So first it was immortal, Jesus' tomb, and crosses from Christianity. So that means he was actually God, and he has really existed. So, I think that all controlled by the devil. I think everyone
You
believes that
keep
God is
cutting
real.
out.
Jesus is the true Lord. It's just the devil.
You keep cutting out.
Yeah.
So you're saying
How about now?
Jesus had immortal blood cells, and you said something about there was crosses in his cells or something? What did you
Yeah.
say?
Yep. So Jesus, the blood he had was immortal, and when he zoomed in on that blood, there were crosses from Christianity. And when the
Okay.
blood is zoomed in on,
Okay. So sure, where's like the
Yeah, and,
justification for any of this?
and it actually the warmth of that blood, the blood is very warm. When people that were testing it, when they were around it, they felt warm,
Dude, your internet is
like
actually
warmth,
terrible.
like-
What is going on?
like a god's warmth.
Okay.
I think
I'm asking you if you have a source for this.
it might because I think it's
I might need to
because
let
I'm
you
in a
go, to be
satanic
honest.
place, like here.
You're in an isolated place,
Yeah,
you said?
I am with Jesus.
I'll
a
bring you
Satan-
back when you fix your internet. Satanic. He's in a satanic place. Guys, we gotta get people up. Get the likes up, share, repost. I didn't see if J Roberts said something. If you want to be a mod, J Roberts, I can mod you. you should have mod, right? This guy's a troll. Yeah, but do you have mods now? Chat. I don't know if it worked. Yeah. The TikTok Studios is very finicky, so I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't work. Why? It's because I actually need mods, I'm not gonna lie. Big X, do you want mod? I'm just basically just block people who say slurs or stuff. Literally all we need. Like when I'm talking with someone, you don't need to mute them. If I'm not muting them or whatever, just let it play out. But if they say like the N word or the F word, the slur one, or just pretty much any slurs or any derogatory stuff, you could just block them because they usually get away from me. Yeah, I can mod you, Evan. Bro, what are you talking about? What do you mean? It says you have mod. You could test it when there's someone in the queue. I don't know if you can see the queue, but right now there's no one in the queue. I'll see if you can bring them up and if it works. I don't know if maybe you would have to rejoin or whatever for the mod to take. Oh wait, I forgot to give you manage guests. Yes, I'm actually gonna. Okay, it's saying I have too many mods. Okay. There, I fixed your. Now you have guest access. Yeah, it says it won't let me remove mods here. I know I could do it. I don't know if I'm. Let me see if I could do it mobile. But come on, y'all gotta keep interacting. We only got 30 people here. Share, repost, try and get the likes up. I gotta get people up. Let's see if I could add. Okay, I'm gonna need a. Wait, how do I remove them on? I'm so confused. We have someone requesting. See if you could bring them up, Chester. Okay, so your mod should be working. Yeah, I don't know how to remove mods. I think I gotta do that in settings. But yeah, what do you got?
So you're saying that what you have on your text is your claim?
Oh, sorry, let me remove that.
Oh, never mind. I thought you were claiming the thing that you had on your text.
No, yeah. So I keep forgetting. I write down what my guests be saying. They be saying completely ludicrous bullshit, and I just forget to take it down.
I want to talk to the guy who was saying that.
Trust me, that guy is insane. His argument was just as bad as his internet. So unfortunately, we never even got to tie up what he was saying because he could barely even speak. I can't speak digital language, but thanks for coming up anyways. Yeah, is there like a manage mods or something in settings? Bro, I don't know how I'm such like I'm so technologically de-evolved. I'm supposed to be, what is it called? A zoomer. I'm supposed to understand how the internet and technology works. Come on, y'all gotta keep interacting. 45, I'm at 35 people we got in here. We got 15 people on TikTok, YouTube. Oh my god. My brain is so fried. Also, I might as well say it since we got enough people here. I'm not gonna be live tomorrow. And I don't think I'm gonna be live Wednesday, but we'll see. But now the only days that I can ensure I'm going to be live now that I'm working is Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and that's it. Maybe Sunday too. Well, that's going to be occasional, but I'll try and do Mondays, but other than that, the only days you're going to see me is Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I'm not going to be live during the weekday. What work you do? I work at a warehouse where I do assembly, labeling. We load up pallets, ship them. Unc got a job. I've been had this job. It's just that every semester break I would work. It's already been like this for 2 years. I've been during the breaks I've been working. No, it's not Amazon. And it probably pays way more than Amazon. Amazon probably pays cheap, not gonna lie. But it's not, I don't do the deliveries. It's like trucks. It's not like Amazon vans. They're like giant trucks that they're moving pallets of like literally tons of weight. Are you a stripper? Yeah, you caught me. Dude, Big X knows me way too well. That's low-key scary. That shit gotta be studied. I was lying. I was on this bullshit about me working at a warehouse. I'm a stripper. You got me first try. Caught with my pants down, literally. Yeah, I know you've seen the shit. All right, we gotta get people out. What am I saying? My brain's too fried. I'm starting to talk crazy. 2D femboy stripper. Wow, good thing. Unfortunately, good thing. Why did I start with? I don't even know. I can't think before I speak. I'm not 2D, so take that however you will. Maybe it's a good thing. Maybe it's a bad thing. I don't know. Not no femboy neither. Not a chance. A bit off topic, don't you think? Yeah, but it's adjacent. Come on, we gotta get people up. Keep interacting. We got 45 people here. People on YouTube, like the stream, subscribe, and send gifts. Try and get people up. If you don't talk... Oh my god, I'm so fried. If you want to talk from YouTube, you could join the Discord. It's pinned. What evidence would it take? The good one. Good evidence. No, I haven't finished school. I'm still in school. Can we talk about your favorite Iceman track instead? I don't remember the name of it, but I know it's this one, if I could find it. Come on, keep interacting. I think it's this one.
It's 2 a.m. in France. I just accidentally pissed my pants. Weed, and I shit myself.
That one's a good track. Not gonna lie. I can't hate on that album. With that track, that shit slaps. And I be slapping something else when I hear that shit. See, like, what is going on with me? I think work is like melting my brain. Like, that thought was natural off my tongue. Alright, we gotta get people up. Those lyrics, yeah. And fortunately, he didn't even write them himself. He had a ghostwriter to write that. His career is cooked. Come on, we gotta get people up. in history books. Come on, we gotta get people up. Fuck, come on. You need a ghostwriter for that? Apparently, Drizzy Drake do. He do. To write about PP and doo-doo. I just pissed myself, visited France, and I shit myself. I don't know if that was what it said, but come on, keep interacting. Yeah, we actually lost. Yeah, we're actually losing viewers. Yeah. Come on, we gotta get people up. Seriously, we're gonna get real debates, trust. Y'all just gotta keep interacting. We gotta get the likes up. Get to 30K likes, double tap and all that. Keep tapping the screen. I got such a migraine. I'm not gonna lie. I have a horrible migraine. Also, now I'm posting clips, so hopefully with clips like a, you know, grow. Hey, what's up?
What's up, dude?
Yeah, what do you got?
I don't know. I'm just scrolling and trolling, and I come across this room. Says, "Why believe in a God? Evidence or arguments only." Are you a believer?
No,
Do you
I'm
believe
an
in the
atheist.
rapture?
No, I'm an atheist.
Yeah. I don't know. You believe what you want, but I've been talking to this one guy lately, and he believes in the rapture. He just goes on about how he's gonna get taken up probably by Easter. The rapture is gonna happen, and then the rest of us are gonna be here on Earth, and all the good people get to go away. And I think that's just a real asshole thing to say and to believe. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even sure if Christians should be believing in a rapture, but yeah, I mean, I think all that stuff is silly.
I think they should ban all religions in public. Look at all this fighting, crazy shit's been going on for a million years. Believe what you want, just keep it in your house. But bring it out in the street.
Okay. We gotta get opposition up here. Come on. By Easter next year. I wonder how that Christian calculated that one. The stripper name is Hung for Your Sins. I thought strippers used their real names, I'm not gonna lie. MB get into Dilla much? I mean, I've heard Dilla beats from several artists, but it's not like I listen to Dilla himself because he doesn't like, he just makes instrumentals. I haven't like searched for music that involved Dilla. Like I don't do that. Like not The Alchemist, not Conductor Williams. I don't look for specific engineers. I just listen to the rappers I like, and usually the engineer is going to work with artists of the similar camp. So okay, can we chill with the spam Catholic? We can see your comment. Right, explain the Eucharist. This guy's serious. I have an argument, then come up. Answer it. Well, I don't think answering that matters, but if you want to come talk, you could just request up. Like, bro, you're spamming in a chat. Just request up. If you want to talk from YouTube, join the Discord. By the way, and subscribe, of course, like the stream on YouTube as well. Activating your inner semantic primes. I'm an atheist. Dude, how do we... there's no way there's someone else live. Maybe it's definitely the algorithm mistreating me, abusing me because of the time. Oh, Ian's live. I guess that makes sense. A lot of my viewers are Ian viewers, so when he's live, he be killing me. And that's all. That's really all who's live. Yeah, 50 people, still really low. We're not even, actually, we have less than 50, so y'all gotta keep interacting. Come on, let's try and get people up. Ian stuff. I got such a migraine. Oh my god, my head is actually hurting. I'm not even joking. Would you look at my work for modal logic and metaphysics regarding God's existence? No, you could come up and talk with me if you want. Damn. It's real dry. Drink lots of water. Yeah, I should. I get a water bottle with me. I actually should be drinking more water. Come on, keep interacting. It's really hard to speak English for me. Yeah, well, I'm not really interested in reading your stuff. Interacting. Where's Anne? I might need to bring Anne up. She left? They left. Yeah, they left. Money man. Ever ask any of the Norse gods for a sign? No. Is that a serious question? Like, I don't mean to sound like disrespectful, but the Norse gods? Like, bro, the Norse gods are like in Marvel now. We got freaking Thor. I can't. Like, how? Who believes in Norse gods?
Norse people, probably.
I don't even think that's true, ironically. But, well, I mean, probably some.
They all converted to Christianity.
Yeah. You know, that was even a plot point in Vinland Saga, but yeah, what do you got? You got evidence or arguments God exists?
It's not what your argument is. It says, why believe in a God?
Yeah, evidence or arguments only.
Then don't promote your argument.
What?
Are you too stupid to understand that? Because I don't talk to dumb people.
I don't know what you're saying. I'm asking you if you have an
You're too
argument or
stupid to
evidence.
talk to then. Goodbye.
Okay. We're getting a lot of weirdos today. Well, we've only gotten like, what, 2 people? They've been weirdos. See if it's going to be consistent. Hey, what's up? What do you got?
Now this encounter, when it starts, kick this guy to the wall, then start wailing at him.
Okay, it's just trolls. What's going on? What the hell? Yeah, y'all gotta keep interacting. We gotta get really good guests so far. Yeah, they've been really high quality, high maintenance too. It's been hard to keep these luxurious, elegant, top quality, top notch designer guests. I just, with guests like these, it's so hard not to go live. It just makes my hobby so much more fun. It's so enjoyable going live for hours and just getting these guests. I just love it. I just writhe in enjoyment, seethe at the fucking teeth with these troglodyte homunculus guests. And why you kick me? You're playing like audio. I don't know what it was. It was something about kicking someone against the wall. Like, what are you doing? You're just a troll. Let's be for real. I was speaking. If anyone wants to talk from Discord, oh, we got someone raising their hand on Discord. They're taking forever to request or to connect. I don't know if they're gonna connect. They're like Still connecting. Bro's talking about don't expect it to get handed to you, and he's talking about historical documents. Ball right. There is some evidence for God. Did you say something earlier I didn't see? I can't even invite him, bro. Like, I don't even think that person can come on the live if I can't even invite them. Yeah, Heaven or Jevin, whatever your name is. You're just not connecting. I'm actually gonna deny you to maybe you could just re-request and that will help because you're just frozen loading. I don't know why it's taking so long. We got someone on TikTok, so I'll bring them up after if Heaven doesn't request. Never mind, the person left, so that's fine. Well, it's not fine because we have like nobody. Hey, what's up?
Hi.
Yeah, what do you got?
Hi. So my internet was going in and out. Okay.
Your internet is going in and out actively. Like, you just froze.
Wait. Hold on. You hear me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get you right now.
Hello?
Hello?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I hear you. Mm-hmm.
What is your... Okay, so you want... What specific type of evidence would convince you that God exists?
The strong type.
You said the... Hold on. All right, this internet's gonna... All right, can you say that? My volume's all the way up, but for some... All right, you said define this strong type.
Yeah, the strong type.
Okay, so,
Hello?
okay. Hello?
Yeah,
Hello?
it sounds like you keep cutting out.
All right, hold on. All right. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second.
Alright. Isn't this so fun, guys? Such a fun stream. Keep interacting for real. Keep interacting, y'all. Y'all gotta keep interacting. You there? Jevin? Jevin? Oh, they disconnected. We got someone else requesting. JJ. Hey, what's up, JJ?
Hey, what's up? I know I'm not a knock, but I just wanted to check in if you read Miles Donohue's recent paper on his defense for theistic fine tuning. because it's quite an interesting paper, and I was wondering if you already read it and maybe had some thoughts about it.
No, I haven't. I don't really read anymore. Like, I don't.
So good. So good. He's trying to like offer a defense by saying something like are like maybe Bayesian analysis of like the probabilities of, say, the world as we know it coming about is wrong because there's reason to suggest that God might have like an objective, or there might be like an objective value to life. And if we accept some kind of objective value to life, it may skew the odds in favor of theism. That's one of his like central arguments.
But I don't see why.
Like,
that would
obviously,
be.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
bare theism doesn't predict anything, I don't think. Neither do I think bare atheism does. So when you have theism where the God in question has the disposition for the good, or has some type of axiological, a string of axiological dispositions or axiological characteristics, well, you could just stalking horse and say the natural world, or just the world absent God has the dispositions for those same value properties such that they equally expect the datum. So I'm not really sure. I know they want to say stuff. I've heard their star writing stuff, and it doesn't seem compelling to me. I just think.
Yeah, you already got it. You got it there.
Their whole thing with the star writing, as far as I'm aware, and you could correct me because I haven't actually read their thing, is they said the reason that we don't want to use an objection that forceful is because then it renders both theism and atheism to be like predictively bare or barren, like they don't produce any predictions. But I think that's already true. I don't think theism and atheism predict anything. So then if they don't,
they also want to say,
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, go on.
Well, if they're saying something else, yeah, you can tell me.
Yeah, they also want to say something like let's say if the stars rearranged themselves into like the Nicene Creed or something like that. Like a critic could like offer kind of a stalking horse on that, or some other kind of objection, say God has infinitely many ways to reveal himself, so why would we expect that he did that one? But I think there would be this kind of intuition pump that would push back against that. Because like Donahue would say that would be too skeptical. Like I don't know about you, but like I guess I would take that to be good evidence. Like if the stars rearrange themselves into Nicene Creed or something like that. But
what is
I do think that it's
I'm not sure when he says you're being too skeptical. First, I'm not sure what that means, because the type of skepticism isn't committing me to like Cartesian scenarios. So I'm not sure what too skeptical means, one. But two, it's almost like there's an underlying assumption that skepticism of that sort is illegitimate, and when you're committed to that, you should fall back. But I mean, obviously the type of skepticism is not Cartesian, and whatever the type of skepticism he's deeming as too strong, I don't know what that means. What is it, the issue with the skepticism of that sort? And that's like generally not like unreasonable when talking about contrastive explanation. Like if I had the disposition to seek out lollipops, and there was a bag of lollipops, and I could only choose one, and I choose root beer, you're going to wonder, okay, well, we know what explains you choosing the root beer lollipop, or the lollipop, a lollipop simpliciter, is the fact you have the disposition towards plucking lollipops. But what explains the choice in root beer? That's still unexplained. You could have chose any of the other flavors. Maybe it's not flavor, maybe it was the closest lollipop, the first one you grabbed. There's still a reasonable question there, which is why root beer as opposed to any of the other flavors. So if that's all that's being asked there, if God has the ability to reveal himself, and to reveal himself that way loses the ability to realize alternative states of affairs where those could be revealing. The question is why he chose that way over others. That doesn't seem like an unreasonable question.
Yeah, I do agree with that critique as well. And I think there could be a problem with their star rearrangement analogy, which is the problem is there. Like when we look at this kind of star rearrangement, we're going to expect it to be something related to the Bible, whereas the other things, or we're going to expect it like to be religious, like symbology or something. Whereas like the other things seem to have far more options than just that. Like there could be like far more ways in which the universe could be, and why does it seem to be that case? Whereas like in the star analogy, there's actually like a relatively limited set of things that stars could be, in which we would say is like strong evidence to God in comparison.
Sorry, I wasn't following you. You're saying that what is much less likely, you said, than God?
Well, so what I want to say is that like if we're looking at the fine-tuning problem and the many possible ways that the universe could be, it seems that there's far more combinations that the universe could be than in their analogy of the Nicene Creed, say, being in the stars. Because if we were to like intuition pump and say that something seems like strong evidence in the sky, it's actually a limited set of things that it could be. It's got to be like biblically related. It's got to be something maybe in the Bible, maybe around that. Whereas in the first example of being the universe, there seems to be an infinitely larger set of options.
Yeah, but this is something Malpass acknowledges, and he even spoke about this in the interview with Miles, that often what you're doing is you're kind of unfairly characterizing the things to be compared, where you're just considering bare naturalism versus a very specific type of theism, where obviously it expects it. And the whole point of stalking courses are to show that type of asymmetry, right? Which is that it doesn't seem theism is independently expecting the datum. It's other properties, like not X is God, but X has the disposition for X for whatever thing. And if you have that property, then you can ascribe that property to practically anything, so long as it's powerful enough and you generate the same expectation. The whole principle of the principle and practice of stalking course is to show the types of commitments could be parodied. If you're just saying that a hypothesis stripped of those properties, well, sure. I mean, potentially you can have like, there are maybe ways you can have naturalism, maybe that doesn't admit of any of those properties, that maybe expects it. Probably not as strongly, I might agree. But if you just have that the natural world is disposed to that, just as God is, then it doesn't seem that there's any more reasons to favor God there. And if you're just comparing, and also realize that naturalism is a subset of atheism, and sometimes that's controversial. Generally, well, sometimes some people disagree. There's some accounts of theism and spirits that are natural. I think that stuff is nonsense. But if we're just understanding naturalism to be a subset of atheism, then you're already considering a way smaller carve of atheism, because atheism can admit so many spooky metaphysical entities, spirits, ghosts, abstract objects. You can admit of non-natural moral properties. You know, you can buy into all these like spooky stuff. So if we're just considering naturalism, well, if we had the world as is, well, we know that the world is very vast. So that's one thing to consider, that maybe if we just picked some patch of space, you know, it's really unlikely there's that configuration. But just like a lottery, yeah, me winning the lottery is unlikely, but it's not unlikely given the number of people who played, that it was destined, right? As the population or as the sample increases, the odds of that coming to fruition is very likely. And it seems like that is even harmful to theism, because if that that's kind of like expected, that you have just that patch maybe You might think if there's a God that you're describing, it would be it would be easy for him to just make that repeating everywhere in space, right? It's a lot more dubious where in one region of space you just find the string of stars where you can read it out that way, right? And then given the vastness of
that's true.
the natural world, and naturalism is consistent with multiverse theories, though I don't take those serious, but many people use them strictly. I think it's unfalsifiable. I also think theism is, but usually these types of, I think theism is a just so story, as do I think multiverse theories are. But you could still compare just so stories on theoretical virtues and show that multiverse wins.
Yeah.
But on multiverse, if
you could run it as a parody
posit,
anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of, if you just have many universes where those universes have just various configurations of natural facts, it's not really unlikely that there is that fact. People kind of tend to bias the fact we're in that world with that thing, right? Just like a lottery person would want to appeal to more, a more superstitious explanation for them winning the lottery. But, I think, just the fact, I don't even see really how you would calculate the odds of that just on purely naturalism. Of course, naturalism doesn't predict that fact, but that doesn't mean that it's incredibly unlikely on naturalism, right? Because usually prediction is,
I agree.
Sometimes philosophers don't like using predict language, because sometimes philosophers want to say that something could be evidence, but it may not be considered a prediction, or something might not be, or like vice versa. Sometimes predictions are contrasted with accommodation as well, where that seems like maybe what you're doing, because predictions are sometimes considered novel expectations, where instead you can always tailor a hypothesis to known datum, which I think theistic explanations are doing. Because
like in
clearly,
a posteriori fashion, they'll just tailor things like post.
Yeah, and I think that's something they're doing, because with the stuff with fine tuning and all that, the theists are not like, oh, this is something we're expecting to come to fruition, and the fact we're not seeing that right now, or it's like we have to bite the bullet, it's evidence. No, it's just like now that the idea of fine tuning, which I don't buy into fine tuning either. I think people kind of overstay their confidence in fine tuning, because I don't think fine tuning is a claim of the physics, or at least not of the physics strictly, and in fact largely, because fine tuning also has to do, it's talking about counterfactual physics and stuff, so that seems far more like philosophy of physics, but additionally it involves philosophy of life, with what constitutes life, because life obviously could be non-biological, non-biochemical. An atom can be alive. There has been historical views like this, like what is it called?
Panpsychism as well. That's the view that like every what's the name for that? There's a word for like the simplest particle or something. It's like even the simplest thing is like alive or has like consciousness.
Yeah, like views like that. You can have views like that. Yeah, I was saying, hylomorphism. I think that's what, or no, I think it was maybe that is, or hylozoism, I think it is. Let me search it up.
I need to look that up. I've not heard that before.
The philosophical concept that posits that all matter is inherently alive. Yeah, I mean, that's a strictly matter, but yeah, you can have views like that. Of course, like we would say transformers are alive. Obviously, like being sentient is a sufficient but not necessary trait for being alive. So it's kind of like unclear what types of facts would be true on alternative physics, and what really constitutes conditions for a hospitable life in those worlds. Sure, we could say in this world we have reasons to think life is strictly biochemical, though some people contest that. I don't think that tells us much about fundamentally different physics and assigning different values, changing cosmological constants and fundamental forces. I don't even buy into that enterprise, but it seems like there's a lot going on, the physics and philosophy of physics and philosophy of life. So I'm just not really compelled to think that that thing is even any likely. But granted, there's fine-tuning. It's just fine-tuning doesn't seem like that does anything for theism, because I just don't think theism predicts anything. And when you have forms of theism that do predict the datum, if it's not theism independently predicting it, then that means the auxiliary constraints are predicting it. And if the auxiliary constraints are predicting it, then you're sensitive to stalking horse, because then you could just kind of reassign those properties to an atheistic parity and equally expect the datum. And then I would even say,
yeah, that's
given
right.
I think atheism has higher priors, the stalking horse would win.
But okay, so this is where Donahue tries to seal the deal, as you could say, but I think he fails, right? But so I guess if I was like, right while you were talking, I was listening and trying to write like a summary of what I think he was trying to say in the paper. And I think the paper's name, by the way, is, if I just get the paper, it is Divine Psychology and Cosmic Fine Tuning. That's the name of the paper. But anyway, so he objects to critics who want to say that like the probability of fine tuning under theism is unknowable or probably tiny, just because God has countless other options. And so he replies, with the kind of awesome evidence type thing that we talked about, where like he thinks skepticism will like prove too much in that sense. But however, he does agree that the theists need to give a reason why God would favor a life-permitting universe. And so his answer, right, and this is the bit where he tries to kind of force over those objections that you mentioned, which is to say, so he says that life is objectively valuable. Now, there are lots of problems with that, but I do think at least he's trying to give some kind of like overarching reason as to why God may, if there was a God, favor the conditions that we see now. I actually think one place where we could just object to that is that if it were the case, life was objectively valuable, we might ask things like, why were the dinosaurs wiped out, and why is life quite difficult on Earth? It's not like a cleanly cut picture. But there's plenty of places we could object, right?
Yeah, I agree with those things. But another thing is, it seems, hold on. It seems like the theist is kind of inconsistent, because, so first it sounds, this is something I noticed, that they always do this. It sounds like they want to say the evidence for theism is not fine-tuning itself, but life, and then we discover we're in a fine-tuned world, which I'm not sure what that's doing for theism, because it sounds like theists want to say, sometimes, I don't know if you heard about this, but there's a contrast between design and fine-tuning, where design arguments want to say the world is perfect for life, that fine-tuning is that the world's perfect for life, and design is that life is like inhospitable. We find ourselves in a patch of space that allows for life. It seems like you can't say both of those things are evidence for God, right? Because then there's coarse tuning. So then to say fine-tuning is evidence for theism, and given we have life, you would have to admit if the world was coarse tuned, that would be evidence against life, evidence against theism. But if God valued life, then why would he make the world fine-tuned? Seems like, in fact, he would make the world coarse tuned such that all physics, or at least more broad range of the physics, allows for life. Seems like,
yeah, I agree, and I think
fine-tuning is actually an evidence against theism.
Yeah, and even as technical as they might get, like assigning probabilities or saying the exact things that God, say, values, and then we see, I think they still suffer from, because they still do a lot of work with the kind of intuition pump, which is to say, like, well, we see life now, and like you say, like this patch of life, and that seems to be good. But I think they also suffer from that in reverse, because we would just say, well, like, okay, if we follow your line of reasoning, why does life appear in the way that it does, in the sense that there's lots of like horrible things that appear to happen as well, like lots of unjustifiable things that maybe like an objectively valued life shouldn't experience or something like that. That I think that like the intuition pump works both ways. Obviously, I know the like Nicene Creed example is what they'll go for, in the sense of like how we might try to say that if the stars arrange themselves in that way, you would just accept it, even if maybe a few letters were wrong or something like that. And that might be their like analogy that they might use to say that, like, I don't know, but then you come into kind of course tuning. I don't know what you think about that. But
And another, like, if we're just comparing naturalism to just the modal space of options is just in favor of naturalism, because any set of ways the natural world can initially be, God can want a world that way. But additionally, he's sovereign, so he can refrain from creation altogether. He can create entirely non-natural worlds, and he could create both, or he could configure the natural and non-natural. Of course, Christians think he creates both. The natural world we're in the natural world, and then there's heaven or hell, which are non-natural worlds. So it seems like just the odds that we find ourselves in a world like this, just far more expected, just on odds alone, just a chance, because it seems like there's actually an order of infinity greater on theism of unlikeliness, because there's infinite ways God could have made a strictly non-natural world.
yeah, I have heard this bare theist objection. I don't think it's articulated in Donahue's paper, but I know one of the objections is to say that if I was, say, like a bare theist, I might say that actually there were like an infinite number of options, or at least an extremely large number of options that God could have chosen to make that would be life permitting, but just not in the way that we have it, like expected under, say, one of the monotheistic religions, like I don't know, like Islam or something. Like, you're going to expect a very particular set of conditions under Islam or Christianity, but like on the bare theist, you might say that there would be, like, imagine this is the world, it's like angel spirits or something like that. Like that could add to the range of options on their side. And I guess it's we have like kind of an epistemic blindness, or like some kind of blindness to knowing the where we assign the probabilities, because we don't know the range of possible worlds, even under like a bare theist example.
Right. I think that's probably right too.
Another thing I wanted to say was, I think we'll expect a response regardless to this paper from Malpass at least. I'm not sure if Troy will be writing something as well, but I know that I've heard rumors that they'll reply. Yeah. So we'll see something, hopefully, because I imagine they'll pick it apart quite well.
I haven't really talked with Troy, but Troy is active in this space. Well, you're on Discord, but I'm on TikTok Live. He's active on Live generally, and people crack jokes about it. And he clearly, and also inversely, you probably seen like the video with Joe Schmidt and Miles Donahue talking about how fine-tuning is strong evidence for God. How they cracked the joke about our friends like Troy is incredibly mistaken about this issue. So, they're throwing like little comedic jabs at each other. Troy definitely doesn't agree with them, as far as I know. I mean, he's talked about the double counting stuff. Well. He hasn't talked much about the stalking horses, but Malpass has. He already talked with Miles, and he didn't seem by any means shaken. In fact, he seems more motivated to pursue the defense behind stalking horse objections to fine-tuning.
I guess my current view is that, like, fine-tuning, it's not like a brilliant argument, I would say, but I would say it's better than others in that at least it can be argued from like a bare theism perspective. But I think it defeats like Christianity or Islam quite easily, in the sense that is such a specific expected state that it makes it reduced, like, comparable against the other options.
I don't get why would why would you think bare theism expects any of this, like the fine tuning?
I don't think expects any of this necessarily, but what I do think is that it at least gives the theist a wider range of options of potential life-permitting worlds, like like the ones we discussed, like some kind of angel world or something like that. Like that, there at least seems to be a wider range of options. I'm not saying it convinces me of anything, but I'm just saying I think it's better than others, right? Which is not a great indictment of the argument, but it's just to say it's better than others in that sense. Obviously, Miles as well, he's like a bare theist now, so. But then he does this little smuggling in the argument, which I'm sure you would have a problem with, because he has bare theism plus God values life. Because you might have a question about like bare theism where it doesn't like value life. Yeah. What about bare theism actually suggests that?
Value neutral theism. So.
Like a demiurge or something. Like you could have one that doesn't like life as well, or something like that. That wants suffering or something.
Okay, so I meant maybe to say, like, I'm not saying that he's indifferent, he's like value indifferent. I mean, instead, like, you could just talk about God in such a skeletal way where you don't make any assumptions about his values or psychology. And I think that's like constitutive of bare theism. It just doesn't make any like value commitments about the being. You can have tyrant evil God.
Yeah, like psychology. Yeah. Why would we say that about God? The psychology is like that just wouldn't happen under bare theism, right? Like you're straying at least in principle towards the like Abrahamic religions when you say stuff like, "Oh, he like objectively values God" or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I don't think there's independent motivations to think. Sometimes I think you've probably heard this. They want to say that, well, God likely has the values humans might share, and they want to say humans generally have those values, and because they're minds, so we have some inductive reasons to think that's likely of minds. So just positing dispositions of the natural world is even if you think that evidence is microscopic, it's still something that theism has over. So at the very least, you would have to admit it's an update. And I think that's just obviously false, because there's an evolutionary causal story for our values in psychology. And God's not going to obviously share that story in principle because he's a spirit. So I just don't see how we could rationally project our values onto God, in which we could say that we have some reason to think bare theism predicts even so slightly the datum over. And if it just doesn't, then stalking horses are just going to eat up.
Yeah, I also wondered the cost of, like in Miles's case, what he does is he supposes that God objectively values life.
Sorry, continue.
And I don't. Oh, yeah, that's good. Yeah, I was just saying. So in Miles's case, he supposes that God objectively values life, and that's how he kind of tries to bridge into there being some kind of reason why like the world is the way it is or the universe is the way it is. But I actually think that must have some kind of probabilistic cost. Not that I know how to calculate it, but like, it's got to be costly, or at least ontologically costly, to say that it has a psychological state as well. So like out of the infinitely many psychological states we could contrast, and even having a psychological state, surely that's costly.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's obviously like an ontological, there's like a toll there with commitments like this, but just like that view that he's talking about having objective values or reasons, God having objective values or reasons, commits you to non-natural realism, which personally I find beyond distasteful. I think that views like that are gibberish, because if they're naturalists, then of course you could just get there would just be they're just features of the natural world. So clearly that's not what they want to say. And if it's objective, then obviously it's not reducible to God's personal values. So when they would have to be talking about these non-natural notions of value, realist notions of value, and I think that's like nonsense in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I've just thought of that kind of roundabout objection, but I don't know if we would put it as like a like a Bayesian worry, or we'd put it as a like an arbitrary psychological add-on, at least. Like, and as you mentioned, like the committal to a particular like natural state. Like, I just think it like it's an intuition pump, maybe. I mean, maybe that's an unfair, like maybe I'm not doing a good job of steel manning Donahue's version, but I think to argue that like the psychological state increases the probability without seeming to factor in the kind of ontological toll or burden, like maybe is like an intuition pump, not deliberately, but like maybe that's what we could put it down to if we were to try and like analyze it.
I'm not sure.
I don't know. I'm not going to waste any more of your time with this. I'm just yeah, thinking about it. Like, well, because I'm saying like he tries. One of his big points in his paper is that God having the particular psychological state makes it what we see in the world more expected. But I don't see how that particular psychological state couldn't be used against him. Like, we could also argue that like God could have this kind of hatred psychological state where he wants to see people suffer, and we could say that we see that in the world. I just don't know why it would just have to be the subjective value of life. I think that adds like a huge number of potential sets. It's like, imagine you have the original set, and then by supposing that he values it objectively, not just that he wants to achieve it, but he values it in a positive manner, I think adds a huge number, like times the amount of like psychological states you could by an additional factor, because you've just added that he values it in a positive way. I don't know. I'm just thinking about that but I just think it's a strange thing to like suppose a psychological state.
If you're thinking of it more like explanatory theoretic reasoning, there's like this common objection that if you're not running it Bayesian and you're running it like in an explanatory theoretic way, then it seems like it's not even like a genuine explanation, because explanations are designed to dissolve mystery. But it seems like there's maybe a different sense of fine-tuning, but then there's the fine-tuning of God's psychology, which you've probably heard. So it's like kicking the can down the road, because the natural facts are hospitable to life, which is explained by God's mental facts, and God's mental facts could have been in infinite other ways where these facts wouldn't have obtained.
Yeah, I think you've explained it. yeah, that's what I kind of forgot about the fine-tuning psychology objection. Like, that's exactly what I was kind of thinking along the lines of, at least. But yeah, thanks for talking through that with me. I thought it was an interesting paper anyway. We'll wait out for Troy's or Malpass's response, or someone else's response. I think they were having a debate today with like Draper and stuff. Like,
oh really? Where?
At least Jack told me, but he didn't say where, but he just said that they were. So
I gotta ask him about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm too lazy and have ADHD. I could barely read. I watch the videos when they come out, so I watch, like, I've saw the Malpass and Donahue and Maz and Troy.
Yeah, no, I get that.
So
I prefer the video format, but like, the defense. So yeah, right, I appreciate it. That was a good chat. All right.
Yeah, have a good one. All right. Well, people on TikTok, you gotta keep interacting. We got 50 people here. Let's try and get somebody else up. If you want to talk from YouTube, you could join the Discord, unless my YouTube is about to crash, which it might. Don't be surprised if in the next minute or two my OBS crashes. But hopefully it doesn't. And we got 50 people here. Y'all let's get some ops. Let's get some debates going. Let's see what more low-tier slop troll scum we're gonna get today, if any. It's either those type of people or no people. We're either gonna be waiting 90% of the live for a guest, or we're gonna get guests, but 90% of them are the guests we don't want. So y'all gotta interact. Come on, y'all gotta seriously interact. Get somebody up. Double tap the screen, share, repost. Get to 60k likes. Literally a minute, or at best a minute and a half. We shouldn't be talking with someone. I'm assuming my YouTube crashed. It did not crash. Okay, well, it keeps giving me OBS notifications, which is a red flag. Okay, I have a bad feeling my OBS is gonna crash. Come on, y'all gotta keep interacting. Get somebody up. Restart. Should I restart, guys? Y'all gotta tell me in the chat. I'll restart if you guys want me to restart. I'm down to restart. I've already restarted though, so I don't know. You know, TikTok might be mad. You know, they might punish me for restarting. Fun. What are we doing? What's going on? We gotta get people up. What is the chat saying? What's going on, chat? I still got a migraine. Yeah, I'm gonna restart then. I think maybe we should restart, right? Stan said no, but we're on. Well, probably not to me, someone else. I'm gonna restart. Guys, join back instantly. Go crazy with the like, share, repost. We're gonna do the same thing. I'll see you in exactly 10 seconds. People on YouTube, like and subscribe. And also, try and reach the gift goal, bro. We haven't been getting no gifts. Feel free to support me, send gifts. And I don't know if anyone on the YouTube is new here, but I'll repeat. I'm going to be live way less often. I'm only going to be live. Presumably, I'm only going to be live on now Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. That's it. Sometimes you might catch me on other days. Very unlikely. Very, very unlikely. I can only roughly promise Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. That's the new stream schedule. And maybe Wednesday. Maybe. I might try and do Wednesday. And Sunday I might. We'll see. Yeah, I got a cut inside my mouth. Like all the way in the back of my cheek. It's like a scar. Yeah, we gotta get people up. Oh, my thing's been glitched. I haven't. Oh yeah, my YouTube's glitched. Thank you for the jewels, Batfrick, and also thank you for the 2 sparks. Wait, how did I say your name? Sedona. Thank you, Sedona Water. Sedona 3688 Water. Gracias, the 2 of you. Yeah, we gotta just get people up. At this point, I'm just so bored. We're not getting people up. We really gotta just get some guests up to debate. I'm actually super bored. Give me some recognition. I'm your #1 fan, low key. Is that true? There's be so many people. I notice you, of course. You're like always on my lives, but you compete with other people. Like Incy is always on my live. I know for almost literally every live. Who's people that's almost on every live? Big X, you, Incy. Chet is here very often. I don't know if he's here every live. Same with Jay Roberts and what's the other guy? Brute Fruit. I know there's people I'm forgetting, but there's so many people who are just, I don't know. It's hard to say that if you're my #1. I'm your senpai. Stop playing. You know, I've always heard that. What does senpai actually mean? Is that's just Japanese for master? What does senpai mean? Senior, upperclassman. Okay. Like when you hear an anime, it just sounds so kind of cringe. Like it kind of just sounds like a girl's attracted to the guy whenever you hear senpai. That's all I think about. Like I've never actually thought about what senpai meant. Okay, we got someone requesting. We got Blur. Y'all gotta keep interacting. We only got 35 people here. Share, repost, try and get the likes up. Hey, what's up?
Hello there.
Yeah, what do you got?
Well, I think that it's pretty obvious that God exists because of math.
Okay, why is that?
All right, so follow me here. God made sin, right? Thou shalt not sin.
You're saying the Bible says that? Sure, the Bible says that. I guess.
Well, in mathematics, sin appears to remind atheists not to sin.
All right. There's just nothing to say. Hermano, thanks for coming up, gangsta. We gotta get somebody up. We really do gotta get somebody up. That was low-key corny. Like, I don't know why that almost made me laugh. Nah, that is... Yeah, we gotta get a serious guest. Are we gonna get a single... Can we get a serious single guest up here, bro? What's going on?
Okay. What's up, man?
Yeah, what do you got?
I'm gonna be frank with you, bro. I'm not opposition. I just did have a question.
Okay.
So I've been kind of like thinking about how I kind of view things like Platonism, for example. Like I wanted to hold that like logic can be an abstract thing like math, but I really don't know how to formulate that. You know what I mean?
You're asking... Well, you're asking something about logical Platonism, or are you asking about my...
Yeah, like logical Platonism, yeah, like I'm trying to see like how it, because obviously math is like an abstract thing, but like I don't know how to formulate that, logic can be an abstract thing, because people always try to play tag, and I don't know an absolute defeater of that. I'm very new to this, so.
Well, logic is abstract, but I'm not a Platonist. I don't believe in abstract existences.
Sure. Wait, how do you believe logic is abstract but don't believe in abstract?
When Platonism is saying that abstracta exists. Like when a child says 1 + 1 equals, like 1 exists, a child's not like committed to Platonism.
Sure, okay.
Like there's a...
Yeah,
that's why there's a distinction between lightweight and heavyweight existence talk. When philosophers talk and use the word existence, they usually mean it in the heavyweight way. Like when talking about more realism, right? Like when it, you know, for example, when a philosopher says I'm an anti-realist, they're not saying moral properties are not real, like that there isn't moral properties. That's instead like moral nihilism, right? Maybe mathematical nihilism is that there's no mathematical facts, properties, or stuff like that. That's not what like mathematical anti-realism is, or mathematical nominalism, right? What they're saying to explain, like, yeah, we would say that English exists insofar as we use it to speak. But imagine reifying it. Of course, they're not like material objects, but it's like thinking about like them existing like material objects. Like they
sure,
have like a more robust like sense of exist. I don't.
So like logic is like kind of like a tool that we use. So it's like an abstract thing in that sense.
Yeah, I mean, there's views like fictionalism, like they're useful fictions. You could use logic for all types of things, but logical entities don't exist in the philosophically robust way.
Okay, all right. So, is there anyone you recommend I should check out if I was gonna read up on something like this, or?
I'm not sure. I haven't read. Maybe my server has stuff. I don't know. I would probably just ask, you can ask AI what's the best stuff to learn about. I mean, you could just read Stanford Encyclopedia into like nominalism and Platonism, and you can read into those, and they'll talk about forms of nominalism like fictionalism and others, where you can make sense of using, yeah.
All right, man. I appreciate you.
All right, peace. To be fair, AI could give good recommendations as to learning this stuff. Y'all shouldn't sleep on AI as a resource for learning. How cute you believe in something you're willing to discuss. Okay. Bro, Serial, you're saying cringe. Bro, didn't you call me senpai like 5 minutes ago? Wait, I just realized, didn't Serial say they're a girl? They have a girl PFP, but pretty much everyone on the app does. I'm cool though? Okay. I don't know, but calling a guy senpai seems a little strange, if you know what I mean. God is a fictional character. It's best if you don't get saved. Oh wow, that's harsh. Oh wow. Yeah, so what? I'm Big Daddy still. You called me, wait, calling me senpai means I have a higher rank than you. Yeah, I gotta stop thinking about this stuff. We gotta get a guest up here. Oh, another one is Blue Hat. Blue Hat is always here. Evan is here often. Forget, who else am I forgetting that always be on my lives? The avid fans. Based, of course. Admiralty. Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember who else, I don't think. Guys, we're trying to get me to debate people, and I have a migraine, so that's like excellent. Like, it's gonna be fun to watch someone debate me with a migraine. Y'all are just not interacting. We got 70 people and we're at 5K likes. And we've been live for 12 minutes? Yo. Okay, bro. I guess. We just want this live to die, don't we? I like to think of myself as honeycomb cereal. Honeycombs, I've heard of that. I don't even remember how that cereal look. Honeycombs. Wow. Never tried that. It don't look good. Honeycomb cereal kind of look trash. Yeah, it look really... I just hate those wheat cereals. Cereals that are wheaty. My two favorite cereals are Cocoa Puffs and Captain Crunch. I don't eat cereal very often. Well, I mean, kind of. I be eating... I'm the person who never... I don't eat cereal in the mornings. I can't imagine eating cereal in the morning. I eat cereal at night. Literally, cereal is like my dinner. Like, I literally, right before I go to bed, I would, like, eat cereal. I don't know if that's, like, a normal thing people be doing. You know what I never understood? I know people who are broke who would eat cereal with water. Like, I literally can't... Like, why not just eat it dry? Like, who eats cereal with water? Actually disgusting. Like, being broke does not rationalize eating it with water. Like, you need liquid with your cereal that bad? Like, imagine Cocoa Puffs. And then it has, like, chocolate water. Oh my god. Nah, dry cereal is trash. I always eat cereal with milk. No Merc. Oat milk? No, that... since the tick bite. Oh, you got a tick bite, damn. But oat milk isn't bad. Or you could... Can't you have a substitute? I like soy milk. Wow. I don't know how soy milk would taste with cereal. But I like soy milk. I mean, to like a degree. I mean, nothing beats normal milk, but... I don't like oat milk. I don't. I like almond milk. I don't remember how almond milk... I just hate almonds, so I'm assuming almond milk tastes bad. I genuinely don't remember. But I just hate almonds. Personally. I hate all nuts. I do not like any nuts. A soy boy. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we gotta get somebody up. Almonds. Hey brother, hope you're keeping well. Stay safe and stay blessed. Dr. Chill 121. Okay. Bro, YouTube comments are actually funny. Come on, y'all gotta interact, bro. We're not gonna nobody here. We are not interacting. We're really not getting nobody up. Hey, what's up, Grippy? What do you got? Grippy?
Yellow.
You're not gonna freak out today, are you?
What's up? What's up?
I remember you freaked out last time I talked with you.
Really? What happened?
I don't remember. I just remember you freaking out.
Gotta get into the meta. Why are you afraid to
Sure.
discuss actual definitions? Like, what's the problem? That's how discussions take place.
Right.
Because I could be
You like
talking
it.
about truth and knowledge. You could be like, "What is truth?" Right? Don't you retract from an actual discussion? Or
You
from
keep
your
lagging,
position, I
but
mean.
do you have an argument or evidence God exists?
Yeah, so my P1 is either truth exists or truth does not exist. P2, if truth does not exist, then the statement truth does not exist cannot itself be true. Therefore, truth exists. P3,
Was
either
P2?
truth is knowable. If truth does not exist, then the statement, quote unquote, truth does not exist cannot be itself be true. So C1, therefore, truth exists.
You said you had a second.
How did you get to P from P2 to P1?
You said this is a conclusion.
Mm-hmm. So that's my first step. So P3 would be something like either truth is knowable or truth is completely unknowable. And then premise 4, if truth is completely unknowable, then the statement truth is unknowable cannot still be known. Therefore, would say P5 is something like truth is unknowable, claims truth. Therefore, truth is knowable. So no one can
You're
escape
lagging.
by saying, I'm an agnostic, I don't know.
What is the third premise? You like lagged out.
No. P4. We are at P4. Okay,
Yeah,
sorry.
that
P5
right
would be the statement, P5, the statement, quote unquote, truth is unknowable, claims knowledge about truth. Therefore, truth is knowable. That's C2.
But do you just have an argument that God exists? Or does it really take all of this
Yeah, it's
just to
leading
get
to
to
that.
God?
Yeah, no, I think this is necessary.
Okay.
So I would say stage 2 of this would be like
We're on
let's
stage
say
3.
premise 6 would be like, or stage 3, whatever. Beliefs guide actions. Premise 7 would be actions have consequences. So therefore, have consequences. So what I'm getting at eventually is like why truth matters to me, because my beliefs and actions have real consequences. So therefore, you cannot posit a deistic form of God or some ridiculous religion that doesn't make a truth claim about hellfire or paradise. I have no interest in those truth claims. So this is what I'm getting at. Eventually, C3 would be something like, I think I mentioned that beliefs would have consequences. Then P8, the truths most worth investigating are those with the greatest consequence. You can call it Pascal's wager, you can call it utilitarianism, whatever you want to call it. So then the premise 9 would be questions concerning God, morality, purpose, and destiny.
Can you repeat that?
questions concerning God, morality,
You just keep completely lagging.
and the best possible consequences. It's not meant to be, man. It's not meant for you to have the truth, I guess. Am I coming through now, or am I still lagging?
Now I can hear you.
Yeah. So C4 would be, therefore, questions concerning God and are among the most important truths to investigate.
I didn't
This
hear
will be
the
like,
premise
I think this will
before
be
that.
modus ponens. P9 is questions concerning God, morality, purpose, and destiny have the greatest possible consequence or consequences.
You said destiny?
Yeah, destiny would be like future. Human beings are driven by things in the future. That's what
Is the
gives us
greatest-
happiness, in my opinion.
Is the questions with greatest consequence, you said?
Yeah, either hellfire or paradise eventually or ultimately. C4, therefore, questions concerning God are among the most important truths to investigate. This might be connected to the previous conclusion, but I would also draw out that a strong worldview should correspond to reality, be coherent, and successfully guide life. So that's, you can say it's C5 without actually going. If you disagree with it, I can go run the premises too. But C5 would be a strong worldview should correspond to reality, be coherent, and successfully guide life.
Here in guide life. How's any of this getting you to God?
Yeah, there's more. Yeah, I would maybe jump to a different stage 4 or 5. I don't know where I am, but I have an argument against scientism. I would say if God exists, then and intends rational creatures to know him, then the evidence for God must be broadly acceptable. This is premise, I don't know, 17 or something. And then premise 18 would be evidence accessible to all humans cannot depend exclusively on advanced science, higher mathematics, or someone having a PhD in philosophy and astrophysics. P19 would be human beings
Exclusively on what?
exclusively on advanced science, advanced mathematics, having a PhD in astrophysics. I'm just giving examples. So what the point here is that if God exists, we should expect evidence for God to be universally accessible by people of all walks of life, pre-modern and post-modern. So therefore, I reject science to give me some sort of future evidence for God. This is an argument against scientism. But I have an argument against agnosticism. So I'm basically hashing out all the impossibilities or things that reduce the probability of something being true. So I'm hashing out agnosticism here in my next argument. I would say a person's ignorance of evidence does not establish the non-existence of evidence.
But what's the is this another premise or supposed to be a conclusion here?
Yeah, premise. This is premise 20.
What was it?
Premise 20. Yeah, premise 20 is a person's ignorance of evidence does not establish the non-existence of evidence. And I could back this up with another premise by saying that many truths, or P21 would be, many truths are unknown until the relevant evidence is examined. So therefore, personal ignorance does not establish objective unknowability.
You said ignorance doesn't establish unknowability.
Yeah, personal ignorance does not establish objective unknowability. Another conclusion would be agnosticism, therefore, cannot replace the explanatory power or inquiry of theism. Maybe another conclusion we can tie in using two more premises is that rational belief does not require absolute certainty, because I would say the lack of absolute certainty does not justify permanent suspicion of judgment. You know, things like science, history, law, and everyday life all require judgments under uncertainty. So therefore, I would say rational belief does not require absolute certainty. So I'm looking at arriving at truth without absolute certainty. So far, so good.
So, like, how much more do we have to go?
Yeah, so next stage would be to establish that something exists. You agree with that, I think. You also agree that existence requires explanation. Then I would say, I'm just skipping to maybe ultimate explanation is independent, I would say. That's, if you disagree with that, we can...
down. You said what?
So maybe this is where you might disagree with the premises. So we can hash this out. So the premise one for this stage would be the ultimate explanation is either dependent or independent.
Can we just like summarize the argument?
Yeah, the summary of this is that the ultimate explanation of reality is independent.
Okay, I'll just
because the ultimate explanation of reality cannot require further explanation, because only dependent things require further explanation.
And reality, do we just mean the set of real things?
Yeah, everything contained, whatever is real, God, universe, magic if it's real, unicorns if it's real.
But I think can't explain its own existence.
Yeah, so this is where we get to an a necessary being beyond which there is no further explanation required, because either things are dependent or independent. And if explanation, therefore the ultimate explanation is independent.
I didn't catch any of that. So
maybe the next one is against infinite regress. I would say that the independent reality
I
is
didn't
either
hear anything you
contingent or
said.
necessary. If it is
I'm saying,
contingent,
okay, I'm saying, do you
am
understand
I lagging out?
Yeah, you are. Not now. Now you're not. You understand that nothing can explain its own existence? Do we understand that?
Nothing can explain its own existence. What does that mean?
That something can't be the cause for its own
Yeah.
existence. Right.
Something cannot be the cause of its own existence. No, that's not necessarily true. If it's uncaused, then
That's an
either you're
that's a
caused by things
irreflexive
external.
condition. Something can't be the cause
Either
for
things,
itself.
something can't be the cause for itself.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
explanations
things
are
can be uncaused.
irreflexive, meaning that if I wanted to explain the existence of C, I can't appeal to C as to C being the explanation for C's existence. That something is the cause of itself.
Yeah, so the existence of C is caused by something external to it for it to exist. Either
But you
it's
understand what I'm
dependent
saying?
on something external. Yeah,
Okay, so then this
C cannot
just
a C.
collapses because reality then can't have an explanation.
No, I don't follow. How does that follow? Which premise are you disagreeing with?
Because explanations first have to be real. So everything that is going to explain
we
a real
concluded-
thing is just itself real.
Yeah, but we concluded that existence requires explanation.
No, we didn't.
Either-
But I'm telling you how that's
Yeah,
not possible.
in my previous,
Your
what's not
previous
possible?
Stuff
My
never
previous
even talked
conclusion.
anything about that. But I'm saying it's impossible that reality has an explanation. That's what I'm trying to explain to you.
It's impossible that reality has an explanation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we concluded the exact opposite in my previous premise conclusion.
Yeah, that's what I'm
phase.
trying to walk you
So
through.
when I-
So we agree that something can't explain itself. So the explanation for reality can itself be real, or else it would be explaining itself. But explanations in a causal context have the relata being real. To be causally efficacious requires that the thing exists. But if it exists, then it's in the set of reality, and if it's in the set of reality, it is the thing being explained. So it cannot explain itself. As we've agreed, things cannot explain their own existence.
Yeah. So whatever exists either is explained or unexplained.
The point is, you're saying
Something
that
exists.
You're saying existence is explained. But that means it has to be explained by something that doesn't exist to explain existence. But non-existence can't explain existence.
Right. So existence requires explanation. Right.
No, the point is, existence cannot be explained, is what I'm trying to explain. Do you understand that existence has to be explained by something that doesn't exist?
Existence is either explained
Okay,
by
that's
itself
not answering my question.
or
Do we understand?
or by something external to it.
Existence would have to be explained by something that doesn't exist.
No, that's an impossibility. How are you what do you mean by something that doesn't exist?
I agree. It's impossible that something that doesn't exist explains something else,
Right.
At least in a causal context. But to treat existence as an explanandum, so given the explanandum cannot also be the explanans, nor nothing in the explanandum be in the explanans, then what you would have to appeal to trivially is something that doesn't exist. Since the explanandum is everything that exists, then the explanans cannot have anything that exists. That means the explanons would have to have a non-existing the explanons would have to be something non-existent.
How does that follow? Which rule of logic are you applying here?
I don't know what that's asking. If I want to explain the material world, the set of matter,
right,
I cannot appeal to a material object to explain matter because it's in the set of things that are material. So if I want to explain the material world, I would have to appeal to non-material thing. If I want to explain existence, I cannot appeal to the thing to be explained. Explanations are irreflexive, meaning the explanation is also not the thing to be explained. That something can't explain its own existence.
Where did you?
So when the explanation, the thing to be explained is existence, then the thing doing the explaining would then be something that's not existence.
How does that follow? Like you're saying, something doing the explanation cannot be of the same category. It has to be the opposite.
I didn't say
where did you get this from?
Category. I never said anything like that. I said the thing that's explaining, the thing to be explained cannot have the thing to be explained as the explanation. Things cannot be their own explanation.
Unless they are necessary.
But no,
yes,
that wouldn't be
unless
the
they're
explanation for
necessary.
itself.
Uncaused things do not require an explanation external to them. They just exist.
They don't need explanation. Well, we're talking about causal explanation.
I'm talking about contingent explanation. Things depending on each other. You cannot have a set of contingent things depending on each other.
Come on, you gotta focus. When we're talking about causal explanations. The cause cannot be the effect. The effect I want to explain cannot be the cause for the effect.
I agree. I mean, your cause and effects are two different things. Yeah.
All right. So then if we're explaining, if existence is an effect, then existence is not in the cause. So the cause for existence is something that doesn't exist.
Yeah, it doesn't follow. I don't know where you're. Well, we agreed on.
You just said
we agreed on
the effect can't be the cause. So if existence is the effect, the existence doesn't appear in its cause. The effect does not appear in the cause. Existence is the effect. Existence doesn't appear in the cause.
The effect is explained by the cause, and the cause can be explained.
This is super simple.
You're making it more complicated than it needs to be. And the cause can be explained by another cause or by an uncaused cause. There are only two possibilities. In your causal chain, you can either have dependent things or independent things. So are you disagreeing that existence requires explanation? Like, what are you disagreeing with here? I don't know. Because I was getting to the fact that the ultimate is
You're lagging out. Do you understand this inference?
the cause of something cannot be effect. It is an effect. Therefore, Therefore, what is this inference based on? Modus ponens or?
Just universal instantiation. It's like obviously a valid argument. I don't know if you're trying to contest the validity.
I would disagree with the.
You're lagging.
I disagree
so
with
much.
P2.
Okay, now you're not making any sense.
Yeah, can you prove P2? Demonstrate.
No, this is what you said. That's the whole point I'm making. You said
I mean, you're
reality
proving
is the
you're
thing
proving
to be
something else.
explained. You said reality is the thing to be explained. Existence is just a synonym with reality. We could even change it to reality.
Okay.
Yes. But that means you're appealing to something not real, something not in reality to explain the set of real things. It have to be a non-real thing to explain.
I never
the collection of real
mentioned
things.
any of these things. P1, like you're providing your justification of why you're dismissing that something.
Oh my god. This guy is so dumb. This guy is actually so... You're just completely roboting. Yo, you gotta, what is, go somewhere with internet. Where are you at, bro? This is so pathetic. These people cannot think, bro. Literally cannot think. Oh, I don't know if he left or disconnected. Probably disconnected because he froze. It sounded like his internet was god awful. I'm actually surprised he didn't disconnect like a millennia ago. But yeah, that was painful, and he couldn't track the most obvious, simple inference. I'm gonna delete all of that. Wow, I can't believe we wasted so much fucking time writing out more than 20 premises for none of them to even matter. Literally just troglodyte behavior.
And you're wasting so many time and not working out. Go work out. Get the fuck out the chair. What are you doing? Stop debating. Go work out. Get some fucking exercise, bro. Go fucking.
You just came to just freak out.
Yeah, you know that, bro. Just go with some food. Go exercise.
Thank you for letting me know.
Your head's bigger than your body. Come on. What are we doing? What are we doing?
I don't know what you're doing. Do you want to engage with the topic or what?
You're wasting time. Get some exercise. You're
Wasting time. How am I wasting? I'm not trying to figure out. I'm not trying to figure out. I'm not trying to figure out anything.
All right, I'll tell you why you're wasting time. Because you're asking for evidence that's not real, bro. What are you doing? That's like me asking.
I agree with you. The point is, most of the people. So it sounds like you agree with me, but you know that most people.
I'll listen.
I don't know you're freaking out, dude. Calm down. I don't know you're being an asshole. The point is just most people, most people on Earth believe in God. And if you think there's no evidence and you think these people are irrational, most people on the world disagree with you. So if you think it's an obvious opinion that most people deny, then it's very easy to get engagement. Why not talk to them? You think you agree. You think most of the population's confused. You think it's a waste of time to like tell these people they're confused and show them they're confused? Sounds like I'm doing charity for these people. Well, I'm not wasting my time.
I apologize then. Well, their evidence, I'll tell you this, their evidence.
Look, imagine most people thought eating babies for fun was morally good. I think that's putatively evil. And imagine 90% of the population thought something so obviously untrue. Imagine you then coming up telling me it's a waste of my time, go work out, instead of telling people to stop believing incredibly gross or incredibly epistemically vicious opinions. Like what? Dude, like most of the people have one of the most the worst opinions in philosophy. It's like literally one of the most converged upon opinions by philosophers that a God doesn't exist. It's literally one of the most believed opinions in philosophy. and like almost everyone on Earth believes in a God. I agree, it's insanity. These people.
You have any old? Do you have a 1599 Bible? Those ones are probably, if you want to look for evidence, those ones are good. Because the older one, the new ones,
What are you talking about?
because all the evidence is washed away, bro. The new Bibles, them shits took out verses from, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, I don't really care about any of that.
Then you don't want to look. Just saying.
I'm talking about evidence for theism simpliciter, not Christianity. I think there's no God at all.
Then what?
Not that the Christian God doesn't exist.
Or you think. You know or you think.
Well, I would say I know.
Exactly. So you're kind of just arguing with people basically all day, all week, all month, all year.
But that's what debate is.
Your
Everyone
spine
does
is
it.
gonna be Are you slouching right now?
Does it look like I'm slouching?
I don't know. I hope you're not, because your back's gonna be fucked in 10 years.
Okay, you're like being really cringe. Are you gonna have this conversation? I'm so confused why you're up here. It sounds like you don't.
You want me to debate?
Well, it sounds like you don't want to debate, which I'm confused, because maybe you should stop wasting your time doing this and learn how to read, because it sounds like you're illiterate. You don't understand what the point of the live is. It's very clear. If you're a competent speaker of the English language, you have faculties of perception where you can reliably capture the text, and you have basic understanding of the English language. You should be able to consume the text and understand what is being conveyed. But it seems like you came up to waste my time, because there's people who are interesting to talk with. There is people. Okay, you're interrupting me. There's people that are worth my time talking with.
I don't see anybody requesting.
Yeah, no one's requesting right now. That doesn't engage with my point.
Oh, sorry. I guess I'll just stay around today till you got someone. You know, Arc Raiders, bro, I'm not gonna lie. I just lost a level 4 volcano. That's why I'm being like this, bro. Because I just lost.
Oh my god. You're so fucking retarded. I can't. What is actually with people wasting time like that? Like, what are you doing? Talking about I'm wasting time. Genuinely have nothing to do with themselves.
Hi.
Hey, what do you got?
I have nothing. It's just like I low-key got cooked by some Muslim on the contingency argument, and I have a question on it. So I'm gonna use their argument, but it's not my argument. So they use the contingency, but they use the modal contingency in ontological dependency instead of using it metaphysical modality.
Yeah, and they use a non-modal.
Yes, and it's so confusing, and I don't know how to answer it. I don't know what are they saying.
Well, I don't believe in ontological dependency. I don't see what would be the reasons to think there even is such a thing.
Yeah, but they said, okay, for example, a cloud, or what, a fire can go extinct, or you can put a fire up. It can be in existence and out of existence, therefore it's dependent upon something.
Yeah, but why would you accept that there's anything that's ontologically dependent?
Because the fire won't exist if something else didn't exist.
What?
I don't know. They're saying that. I don't know.
Sounds like you're just repeating that it's ontologically dependent, when the question is why think anything's ontologically dependent. If I said why think anything is red, I'm a skeptic about there being anything that's red in the world. And you say the reason I think something is red is because John's car is red. Okay, well that claim obviously assumes the falsity of the thing I'm challenging. So when I say why think anything's red, and you say because one specific thing is red, you're okay. Yeah, obviously, I'm questioning that. So saying that fires are ontologically dependent is just obviously something I don't accept. I'm literally asking why I think a single thing is ontologically dependent. Yeah, so I don't even think there is contingent things. in that way.
In that way, but would you say it's necessary? Like a fire exists? I don't know.
No.
So what would you say?
What do you mean? What would I say?
But if you don't take into contingency that way, like the opposite of contingent, I think it's necessary.
Or the opposite of contingent used in the way Muslims are talking about. It's just like non-contingent.
Oh, yeah,
It's just
that's true.
independent.
Yeah, I see it. Like, yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Have a nice day.
Yeah, you too. Yeah, guys, you gotta get somebody up. I'm not going live for the next couple of days, unfortunately. You're gonna see me Thursday. That's the next time you're seeing me. Dang. Getting no guests, getting really bad guests, and having a stupid migraine after a 9-hour shift of work is like literally I came home and I just pretty much got on here. I mean, I laid down for a bit, then I just got bored. And I knew I wasn't going to do it late. I was not going to do a live late. But yeah. Yeah, we're not getting nobody. Let me check the Discord. I can guarantee you there's not a single soul in the Discord. There's 2 souls in the Discord. Interesting. I'll bring up B. Yeah, what's up?
Hello?
Yeah, what do you got?
Hello?
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, I can't hear anything.
You can't hear me?
Change audio output, speaker. Hello?
Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. Yo, Monkey Boy, I just want to come up. Yo, you're so high tier. Yo, God bless you.
Okay.
I love your content. No, seriously.
Yeah, cool. Word.
All right, bro. Take care.
All right, take care. We have this guy. I remember they were trying to connect earlier.
Yeah, hello. Can you hear me? Is it working?
Yeah, what's up?
All right. I'm just making sure. So I know you're tired of. I'm just gonna get. What is the single most critical assumption your thesis on to be true, and where is the hard and empirical evidence to support it? Hold on, where is it?
Mine?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. What is the single most critical assumption to your thesis relies on to be true, and where is the hard, empirical evidence to support it?
I don't know. I could barely make out what you're saying. You said something about an assumption and empirical evidence. I'm not sure what you're saying.
All right. Okay,
I think you just keep lagging out.
A little bit, where we were talking about theism, correct? If I just...
Yeah, I'm just asking if you have an argument or evidence for theism that a God exists.
Yeah, I still do, but yeah, I have an argument that God exists.
Okay.
My argument is, but before I answer, what would you accept as definite proof? Like, if you demand a scientific experience, but God is, by definition, immaterial, we are talking past each other. Like, tell me exactly what it take to convince you.
What it takes to convince me. I mean, that sounds... Well, I think my conviction is understood in terms of my epistemology. Maybe I'm wrong, and I could believe something irrationally, but I'm just asking, what's your argument or evidence God exists?
Okay.
I'm not sure what analyzing my psychology matters.
Well, I base my belief on the psychological arguments, like the first cause argument and personal faith. Like, you don't have to accept it as yours, but
Psychological.
That is where I stand.
You said
But
the first mover in faith?
yeah, it's my personal faith that I believe in God.
And what does that mean?
Like, what?
Yeah, that's right, Jay.
What I'm trying to, huh? You.
I was saying Jay Roberts is correct. Sorry, continue. You keep lagging still. I don't know what's going on. Everyone's internet today is pretty bad.
Yeah, so I thought it was my internet. Maybe it's some control on your internet. Is out of your control here. But okay, so
It's definitely not my
no
internet.
big deal. So I mean, I notice people's internet's kind of garbage, but yeah. So anyway, I'm assuming you're tired of hearing the same stuff from people that is very little evidence for God existing. But like, what's something are we curious about? Like, what's something you want to go into of why God to get evidence to get evidence if God exists?
I'm not sure you're asking. You're asking me how do I think is a way to get I don't know. I don't know what you're asking, honestly. Are you asking something like how do you get evidence for God?
Okay, so let me put it this way. I know you're tired of hearing the same ad because I know you hear last time what I remember clearly is that you're tired you heard like the same stuff from people trying to provide evidence for God, and then what's something like people never ask, like what's something you actually want to dig deeper, and maybe I could try to answer it there from my personal experience of why I believe God exists.
I'm not sure I'm getting you. You're asking me what is something I don't normally ask people who believe in God?
Yeah, like what's something you want to understand more to see if God.
I just want to know if you have any arguments or evidence.
Well, I mean, I have. Come on, why is it? Give me a second. This computer. All right, so no, hold on. The volume's like low. All right, give me 1 second. I'm trying to adjust the volume so I can. Okay. So like give me 1 second.
This is going great. Kick this dude. He doesn't know anything, not even how to speak.
No, I'm right here. Can you hear me? So let's say I'll give you an analogy. So can you hear me?
Yeah. Are you there? I don't know if
so let's say you're walking on a beach, and let's say you're walking on a beach and you find a complex functioning pocket you watch, and you instantly know it didn't form by random chance. It's rings and hands simply an intelligent watchmaker. So while the universe is finely tuned by physical laws, the complexity of DNA, the complexity DNA and predictable ecosystem is vastly more intricate than a watch pointing to an intelligent creator. So which I think it's equivalent to how the world exists. I'm just
okay. Yeah, I mean, there's just several obvious issues. The one obvious issue is that
which you've heard before. I understand that you heard that plenty before. You maybe probably think it's gibberish, but from my experience,
Well, I just think it's false.
from what I'm aware of and what I've seen, I'm just trying to put it to that puzzle. Like, let's say when you look at a beautiful landscape painting and you know the paint didn't simply just spill out of the tubes and shaped itself into a masterpiece, the painting inherently points to the existence, skill, and intent of the painter. It means though, like the universe operates according to rigid, consistent rules of cause and effect. Since our universe has a beginning, it requires a first cause or a painter that exists outside of the bonds of the material universe to bring it into being.
I don't know how you get there. So the paintings are painted by people, and how does that get you there's a divine designer for the cosmos? I don't get it.
Well, I mean, a painting wouldn't just appear out of nowhere. It's like
Okay. Well, yeah, I just
it's like when you
granted.
get let's say you have a pen,
paintings
right?
That doesn't answer my question. Actually, how does paintings having painters get you to a divine cosmic designer? And then you just said paintings aren't painted by non-painters. They don't come about without a painter. It just doesn't answer my question.
I didn't hear that question. You repeat it one more time, and what's your question again?
How do you get from paintings are painted to there's a cosmic designer? Or a divine designer for the cosmos?
Like, what do you mean? Can you walk me through a little more? Like, how do I get a painting? Okay, can you explain? Okay, can you repeat it again, but maybe explain what you mean by that question? So I'm really trying to understand here. Sometimes it's hard for me to
We
catch
have
up.
reasons to think that paintings are painted. I don't see how that's
Well-
reasons to think the universe is designed.
I mean, wait. I mean, painting. I mean, you're asking me how do painters how? Okay, I'm good. Well, I mean, like painters, people paint. People who are artists, they paint stuff. But I mean, like if let's say a painting wouldn't just appear out of nowhere into thin air. Obviously there's gotta be people who created the painting, just like a drawing. Let's say you have a pen, you have and you drew
Yeah,
something.
I'm
or people drew
well
something.
aware. I'm asking you how that gets you. So there's a divine designer for the cosmos from the facts that paintings are painted.
I'm getting there. Just give me time. So what gets there is that you're asking me how does it like similar? You're asking me how does it similar to leading to how God exists, right?
Yeah, how do you get a god from those things?
Well, I mean, because like natural life wouldn't just appear out of nowhere. I mean, just obviously there has to be like a career. Like I know there's
Well,
like
it's not
oxygen.
comes from nowhere or is created. I mean, neither.
Why?
In fact, created is just a form of a more broad category. Created is just a form of caused. Created is just a synonym with design, which I'm asking for the argument the universe is designed. It just sounds like you said, you just repeated the claim, which really what I asked you is how's the fact the painting stuff licenses you to say the cosmos is designed. Then you just said the cosmos is created, which means the cosmos is designed, which you were giving the painting stuff in support of, but I was asking how that's any support. But if the claim just is that the universe is created, well, why would I think it's created? It could be caused and not created, just like the sun causes me to get sunburns. The sun did not create my sunburns. The sun's not a creator. It's not a mind. It's not an agent. It is the cause. So obviously, there's sufficient causal explanations for things where the things that caused are not creators.
I
So I
hear
don't
you.
get it.
Absolutely. I actually agree with that statement. But there,
So look, it's either
so
created,
like everything has a cause.
caused but not created, or not caused. So I'm asking you, let's assume it's not that it's not caused. So it's either caused by mind or not caused by mind. How do we get it's caused by mind?
So okay, I'm just rethinking before I answer it clear. So like everything has to have a cause to everything to be created. Something. So yes, okay. So like I heard your question. You asked, how does a mind create on its own, right? Or okay, so
I mean, dude, are you really just
mean-
gonna keep regurgitating what like AI is telling you, or how long is this gonna go on for?
well, I mean I heard some stuff AI, but I'm just explaining from my own what I know.
Dude, you're just like a plant. You're not like saying anything original. In fact, it doesn't even sound like you're thinking about what AI is saying. You're just repeating it.
But I mean, I'm just sharing my
Alright, well.
experience for what I see around the world. But
I'm sorry. Everyone's
Huh?
saying to let you go, and yeah, I mean, just that was something. Yeah. I'm gonna take like one more guest if even possible. I'll wait 5 more minutes. Y'all gotta go crazy. We got 90 people here. Double tap the screen, share and repost. I'll take one more guest. If we don't get one more guest in 5 minutes, roughly 5 minutes, 6 minutes, something like that, I'm dipping. And then you're gonna need to wait until Thursday to see me again. Unless you subscribe to the Patreon, then you can watch all the streams, exclusive videos, early access, ad-free. So definitely check out the Patreon. But yeah, you don't got nobody in the queue. Taking a break? No, I got work. I started work mad late, and it's really exhausting, my work. So obviously I can't stream early because I'm working, but streaming at all, it was a challenge to stream today, and I'm not going to be streaming regularly on Mondays. Hey, what do you got?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched your video against what's his name? TMA and Itachi. That one. I didn't really get.
TMA. Oh, you mean the Muslim apologist, right?
Yeah, him. I didn't really get your point. What was your point in that? Like, what was your argument again?
Well, they never engaged with my argument. They went down some like miracle stuff. Are you talking about the objection I was giving to the miracles? Because it was like the first couple of seconds I gave my reasons why I'm an atheist. And then the Muslim apologist instead wanted to talk about Islamic miracles or something, or prophecies.
I thought his point was that if he gave you evidence that Muhammad was a prophet, like a true prophet, by miracles, and showed that he possibly wouldn't know that in his time, that would show that he was a true prophet, and he would have to get that from an external being.
Yeah, we were talking about how that's not evidence for that. That was the whole point.
Why wasn't it?
Because that wouldn't be evidence for theism, because theism doesn't generate the expectation.
My
That's
bad,
what
could you say that
evidence
again?
is. That theism doesn't predict those facts. So the whole point I was making is, if that were an evidence for Islamic theism, that would only go up at the cost of other forms of theism going down proportionally, right? So given theism just doesn't predict that, even they admitted that, then that just in principle is not evidence for theism. So if it's not evidence for theism, then unless they're going to show the priors on theism is higher, which is uncontroversially false, then atheism would have won by their own lights, in fact. And then
Wait, so you're saying
he derailed into this other bullcrap about explanation and me knowing an explanation, whatever, and we weren't giving an explanatory argument also by his admission. He was giving just a probabilistic argument. And then I just got kicked because they were scared.
So you're saying if he did go that route of somehow using prophecies to prove Muhammad is a prophet and then saying that is from God, that is not a way to go. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm saying that wouldn't be evidence for God.
Okay. I just saw your page really. I just wanted to talk to you really. But okay, bye.
All right, well, thanks for coming up. Maybe I should talk with one more person. I don't know. We really got like no opposition this live. This live was horrible, horrible, demasiado de bad. One more. Okay, well, we got someone requesting already.
Oh, I'm just going to say, for the sake of yourself, stop arguing with these people. They're dumb as fuck. I'm out of here.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping to get better people than what I happen to get. Oh, hold on. I didn't even notice. I got gifts. Oh yeah, I forgot. Today's Pride Day. Am I wrong? Am I right? Happy Pride Day to anyone who's in the community. I make it sound like I'm straight, but respect to all those who celebrate Pride in the LGBTQ community. I'm not gonna lie. Never mind. I'm not gonna say nothing crazy. But those who could read my mind know what I was gonna say. I mean, half of the comments are about femboys, so. But I'm straight. Don't worry. Even though, just happy Pride. Okay, let me read out my super chats. Thank you, Kervin, Kev. Wait, your name is Kevron. Thanks, Kev. He sent $10 and he said, "Mo money, mo cotton candy." Yo, I actually forgot about cotton candy entirely. I can't believe you remember. I used to be addicted. That was like months ago already. That I was addicted to cotton candy. The fact you mentioned that was probably a bad thing, because now I actually do want cotton candy, and I consume way too much sugar. I'm not even joking. I actually eat too much sweets. I actually should stop. And you've just helped contribute in worsening my health, especially by putting money in my pocket. Like, just the mention of cotton candy was... But thank you very much. Appreciate it. And then we got from... It cuts off your name. I'm presuming your name is Professor. It says Profess with the $10. He said, "Good to see you, bud." Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Just to say, happy to see you. Guys, I very much appreciate the support. Thank you very, very much for the $10. Both of you guys, very much. And we also got a gift from... I don't know how to say your name. WRYNONTAP. Thank you for the 20 jewels on YouTube. Very much appreciated, guys. Thank you very much. I've saw you guys were laughing. Yeah, we're talking about femboys. We were talking about femboys. I've always heard this dispute, is it gay to fuck a femboy? I mean, is it really? If it is, like, who cares? Femboys are hot. You know what I mean? No, don't play that game, Serial. I'm not the one who always brings up femboys. That's like literally half my chat is always talk. Big X here is like notorious for mentioning femboys. Oh, we got someone. I guess this is the final person. I'm actually gonna end this live right after this. No more excuses. And they didn't connect. Okay, I'm actually down. I'm gone. If you haven't already, I'm going to be posting now. I'm going to try every day to post clips from my debates and whatever. So hopefully that can help with my growth. I want to try and get to 12K followers on TikTok eventually. I don't know. I was gonna say like in the next month. I don't think I could get that in a month. But I don't know, if you guys want to contribute to my growth on TikTok and YouTube, like you guys know a bunch of people in the like atheist community and deconstruction community and stuff. I'm a small creator, right? I mean, I just reached 10K followers, but I'm a small creator, so definitely people you could share my profile and account and YouTube with. So, you know, do that. But in any case, you know, repost, comment on my new videos on TikTok. I'm gonna try and do some more response videos. I haven't found any recently, but I'm gonna try and do those. I'm gonna be posting clips. And of course, if you haven't already watched my newest YouTube video, give it a like, comment, use the hype feature. You gotta use the hype feature. There's still like almost a week until my next video. So if you want to again watch my early access YouTube videos, they're all on Patreon. You watch the entire streams uncut, ad free too. So you don't even need YouTube Premium, because all my live streams go down in the next, like after like 3 hours or 4 hours up on YouTube. This stream is probably going to stay up because there was no content to it. So I have no issue with just keeping this stream up. Unfortunately, we were live for 3 hours, right? How long were we live for? No, 2.5 hours. Nada. Nothing. We got close to no guests. I don't know what's going on with the algorithm, but yeah, I'll see you Thursday. Peace out. Well, actually, I might be live Monday. Very unlikely. I'm at Wednesday. Why I said Monday? I might be live Wednesday afternoon, but very unlikely. So I'll catch you on Thursday. Bro, still talking about femboys. Okay.